I think it was just about trying to create as much balance as we possibly could. It was the same thought process at the beginning of the year, and we wanted to see if and they proved there's going to be games where Dennis and D'Lo finish together, but I think just moving Dennis to that second unit, along with Troy and Rui, those guys have a great symmetry together. Our new guys that's come in, particularly, Bees, D'Lo, and Vando, and putting those guys with Bron and A, and it worked out. I thought we had a well-balanced attack. Different guys had different moments, and we were great defensively. I think, I expected just to get better and better and better. But, yeah, just to have that balance was the biggest reason.
Darvin, how does it feel to get this type of win considering the opponent record, margin of victory, and going into the break ahead?
I think it's great, man. I called it a Q of L win, quality of life. That would have been a long time to sit on a loss, bro. And it's just I'm happy. And then everything we're trying to do, everything we're trying to get done when we come back off of break, this is definitely a great step in the right direction.
Darvin, I think a lot of nights we'd sit in there and say, you guys missed like 20 free throws, you guys missed a ton of threes, but you guys still scored 120 points tonight. What does it say about the offensive ceiling of what you guys have? It like the 120 didn't feel like just
it felt like we left a lot of points
fluky
out there, yeah. I just think, sky's the limit. We got a lot of playmakers. With D'Lo, Bees can get going, get hot. Bron is who he is. AD, Vando just getting us extra possessions. And then, Dennis coming out with that second crew with Rui and, Austin and those guys, Troy. I mean, it's just, as long as we play the right way, I was really happy to see the 32 assists. As long as we play the right way, share the ball, and stay disciplined in our running habits and, really just not walking the ball up and down the floor, but getting out and running. There's going to be times where we have to play a little slower. But for the most part of the game, big chunks of the game, we really need to maintain and be consistent at playing with some pace, playing fast. And, we have some young athletic guys that can shoot threes, that can put it on the floor, create, and that can finish at the rim. So I think it's only going to get better.
Hey, Darvin, I understand obviously LeBron's always going to be important to the team, but what do you think can be the big picture implications when he has nights like tonight and possibly beyond where his workload's reduced enough to play under 30 minutes?
Man, that was the goal, to hold him at a hard stop at 30. And balanced your lineup is, and the more pieces you have, it allows him to do that. Not only him, but AD as well. You don't have to run those guys into the ground. You can kind of, manage them a little bit better, and they're fresher down the stretch. They're fresher in key moments of the game. So it's great to have all these pieces, to have pieces that are interchangeable, that we can put different. We can go small and fast. We can go big, physical. It's great. I'm looking forward to, seeing what the possibilities are with this lineup.
Darvin, tonight the group played with the most fun and joy I can remember in a game this season. How much have you sensed a mood shift with the group, and just how important is that for you guys to kind of continue this on a nightly basis? I
mean, it's huge, man. When your mind and spirit is right, the body usually follows. It's huge. At the end of the day, it's a fun sport. It's a sport that involves togetherness if you're going to do it properly. And we're playing for the best franchise in the world. So it's like the excitement of stepping out there on that stage under the lights, representing what we're representing, and the new guys coming in and bringing that positive energy, that excitement of being a Laker, just being able to have that rub back off on us. And we've been here all year, and sometimes we had some tough moments, some tough losses, but those new guys, they're bouncing off the walls with excitement, just to be here and to have an opportunity to play with these Hall of Fame guys and Bron and AD and, get opportunity to be a part of turning this thing around where we can get to the postseason.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham. Lakers over the Pelicans, 120-102, the final score. When we come back, we'll take some of your phone calls, 877-710-ESPN. Plus, we'll get a chance to hear from Anthony Davis. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
All right, we're reminding you that Pickleball Madness, or March Pickleball Madness, is coming up on March 18th at Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. It's free for all non-participants, and there's a million things to do, Al.
All right, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out, hang out. We do these events every time we do them. We love having listeners there. We got our Pop-A-Shot Challenge. We got a beer garden going on. So we got everything going on. Don't forget that day.
Games for the kids. Bring the kids on out. It'll be a great time. You'll watch me and Al just wipe the floor with everybody because we're pickleball experts.
We'll be out in the first round.
On the Lakers line, presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points of the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Visit vistapaint.com and start saving. Lakers over the Pelicans in the points in the paint category, 56-48. Lakers over the Pelicans overall, 120-102, the final score. We'll get a chance to hear from Anthony Davis in just a second. Before I do, I want to take a couple phone calls and just a couple thoughts here. Bron only played 29 minutes tonight, which I think is so important for the rest of the season. It's, can you win games, and how much do you have to depend on LBJ to get those Ws? I mean, use the beginning of the season so far through 58 games before tonight's game. He had missed these last three. Obviously, at 38 years old and the mileage and the minutes that he has, the man needs help. And I think some of these additions that the Lakers made, I think they are going to help him, and I think it's going to take a little bit off his shoulders. That's the hope. Listen, every time I get a little excited about the Los Angeles Lakers, you take a couple steps forward, you also take a couple steps back. The only difference this time is these really are new players. So I think it's safe to say that a lot of these guys just fit better, that there is much more. And you'll need a much larger sample size, but it's going to be more fluid. I think guys can just play their natural roles and don't have to worry too much about having to overplay, or guys that maybe were in the starting lineup that you thought shouldn't be starters in the NBA now could come in off the bench. I don't know if this is the starting lineup that the Lakers are going to go with, but I don't mind it. It doesn't sound like a lot of Laker fans mind it as well. Okay, let's take a few calls. Oscar in Baldwin Park. Oscar, what's going on?
Hey, Slee, thanks for taking my call. A couple things, man, just what you were talking about right now. When I'm watching the game, I'm always checking the box score on my phone and everything like that, and I see the lineup man, those names just fit with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the starting lineup with Russell and Vanderbilt and Beasley. It just goes, man. They're shooter off the bench. I know he was a good bench player over there when he was at OKC. And then also, I think Austin Reeves is he's good coming off the bench with now Hachimura or Hachi coming off the bench. It just fits, man. It just fits. And I'm hoping, man, after the All-Star break to make up for that 2-10 start, that let's go 10-2 after the All-Star break. Man, let's make it up, man. And right now, the only thing good for the Lakers is they got nobody behind them right now. They're right in that 13th spot. They got so many teams to jump up ahead, man. But I think they get on a roll. Going into the playoffs, they make the playoffs. If they get into the playoffs because they're on a roll, that's the best time to be on a roll going to the playoffs. So let's hope, man. Let's hope.
And Oscar, I'll tell you this: the only way they could get in the playoffs is if they do go on a roll, right? So it's not ideal. I think sometimes at the end of the season you're positioning for standings, but you're also maybe resting some guys. You could be a little bit more strategic. Lakers don't have that luxury. They're going to play these final 23 games as if they are playoff games. And if they won 14 of the final 23 or 15 of the final 23, then they probably see themselves in the playoff hunt or in the playoff, in that play-in tournament. And then it's up to you. All right, now you're going to probably have to go win 1 or 2 games in a row to get in and see what happens from there. Let's go to McGee in San Pedro. What's going on, McGee?
Alan, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you.
I want to shout out game ball Troy Brown. I noticed the point in the game where Ingram was just eating Vanderbilt alive. He just could not stop Ingram. And Brown came in and kind of just gave a better ball denial. And I think that's showing that the team is connected. Guys who were starting are now going on the bench, but they're coming in playing hard. D'Angelo Russell, LeBron, and AD, just a way better fit, even better than I think a Kyrie would have been. My unselfish player who moves at a nice pace. He's the Rondo that they don't have anymore, the Rondo that we miss. So I thought it was a great win. I don't like the break, but, hey, hopefully guys will stay healthy and we come back and do the best we can the rest of the season.
Appreciate you calling in. I thought for the last couple of weeks, just get to the break. Now they're about to get to the break. It's like, no, I wish they had a game coming up tomorrow, and they had 3 more games over the next week or so. But that's all right. Let them, I'm sure for some of these guys, that break is probably most important for Bron and AD. And then, we'll see that final stretch. A week from tomorrow is when they play again. Chris in Costa Mesa. Chris, what's going on? Chris in Costa Mesa.
Times out there, we look big. We look a lot bigger out there on the court, and it's a good win. I'd like to see us. They cut the lead a little bit in the third, and we were able to separate again and not give up one of those big lead games that we had earlier. I just thought it was a great game by us. Well,
I'll tell you this, Chris, too. You're talking about the size. Team's a lot bigger. It is. I mean, Mo Bamba is a legit 7-footer in the league. Rui Hachimura is a legit 6'9" player. Vanderbilt's legit 6'8". Troy Brown Jr. now isn't that. Lakers had so many guards before. And the matchups of trying to put Pat Bev on an Ingram or something, they were always undersized. Now they have real wing players. They also have that Anthony Davis, Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba probably more of one of the quieter trades at the deadline. He had 3 blocks tonight, and like I said, he is a 7-footer, so it's not like he's going to go out there. Probably won't be the best player offensively for you, even though the guy can actually spread the floor a little bit. Didn't have it tonight, was 0 for 5 from 3. But the 3 block shots, 6 rebounds, there's a lot of value there. All right, let's go to AD. Anthony Davis, get his thoughts on the Lakers win tonight.
AD, you have had 30 starting lineups this year, and obviously with the trade deadline, brought the opportunity to have a new one. 3 Minnesota guys have played together, you and LeBron. What were your early impressions, and why did it look like it seemed to be so fluid on both ends?
Just competed, honestly. I think JV did a good job on BI, just with his length, his presence. D'Lo obviously doing what he does, play make, scoring, beast, shooting the ball. So it's a different look, just see, and it worked for us tonight.
Yeah, you spoke about the importance of this one after the Portland game. Just we got to start winning these games while they're in front of us. And so, what's the feeling to get this accomplishment, and then you guys are all going to go your different ways for a little break here?
It was good. One for us to get on the winning side of things, going into break, feel good about ourselves, and not let a loss kind of just linger over the next 6-7 days. Feel good about ourselves, and then two, just standing purposes. I think being the game up on those guys, I think we're 2-1, so good for that. We playing one more time though, but for standing purposes, it's also a good win for us.
AD, how much more space did you feel for cutting and for driving around the basket? It seemed like you guys were able to get to a couple clobs. You ran a couple times backdoor on some stuff. Is that a product of having that extra shooting on the court?
Yeah. Having D'Lo and Bees out there spacing the floor, Bron, and Vando just know how to play. Rebounding and he's cutting and getting behind the defense, and we were able to exploit the defenses with his ability to move around the basket and get lobs, and he can get little dump offs as well. So there's a few things that we figured out tonight how we want to play, and a couple actions that we might want to get to with that lineup on the floor, and also with different lineups when you bring in DS and Austin, Troy, Rui. So we got depth, and them guys play well tonight too.
AD, from the outside looking in, it felt like you guys were having a lot of fun out there, playing with a sense of joy that maybe hasn't always been there this season. Did you sense that, and kind of just the new energy with the new group and it being the first home game? And how important is that for you guys to maintain on a nightly basis?
Yeah, we played with a lot of joy in Golden State. We did important as well. They just made everything they shot. It's funny, the next game they didn't shoot so well from the three. So, and then tonight, it was a huge emphasis on just getting this win, and we just came out playing with a lot of urgency and energy, and guys had fun. We came out the gates just running, flying, no play calls, just getting stops and just running, and things of that nature. So, anytime we can just play free, get stops and run, it's always fun.
Hi, Adi. I understand there's a lot of talent among you and LeBron and D'Angelo, but why do you think that trio has such great chemistry, and what do you think the potential of it can be?
Well, it was only our first game together. It looked good, kind of get, Bron off the ball so he don't have to, do everything. D'Lo can, handle the ball, and also Dennis. And we can get him in some actions where, a lot of less movement where he can, have his legs throughout the course of the game, not put too much pressure on him. And then, D'Lo able to, take the pressure out both of us, with his scoring ability and his playmaking ability and able to run a team. So it looked good tonight, so far. But, we'll have, I think, about 23 more games when we get back to, see how it looks for sure.
All right, that's Anthony Davis right there. When we come back, we'll take a listen to D'Angelo Russell. We'll take more of your phone calls. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710.
All right, we're reminding you that Pickleball Madness, or March Pickleball Madness, is coming up on March 18th at Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. It's free for all non-participants, and there's a million things to do, Al.
All right, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out, hang out. We do these events every time we do them. We love having listeners there. We got our Papa Shot Challenge. We got a beer garden going on. So we got everything going on. Don't forget that day.
Games for the kids. Bring the kids on out. It'll be a great time. You'll watch me and Al just wipe the floor with everybody because we're pickleball experts.
We'll be out in the first round.
All right, I'm talking to all 710 listeners right now. Let's start off with this. March 18th, it's a Saturday afternoon. Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. That is where I am about to teach everybody a little bit about pickleball. And the reason is because you see my father here is a world champion pickleball player. And while I have never played pickleball, not one time in my entire life, I already got my own racket, which means I'm about to kick some you-know-what. So come on out and support. Be there. We'll all watch college ball games together, and we are going to win.
ESPN. Presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Once again, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, we're going to get to D'Angelo Russell here in just a second. 120-102, the final score. Lakers over the Pelicans. Final game here before the All-Star break. Let's go to Joe in the Inland Empire. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Alan? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Appreciate you calling in. What'd you think of the game tonight?
Man, I was very happy with Darvin Ham. Finally, he made it. He made that adjustment with the starting lineup. I just was really just that right there just sent me to cloud nine. So I just think that from here on out, we just need to just keep on building chemistry. I just like that the three dudes that we put into the starting lineup, they played with each other on
Minnesota.
Minnesota Timberwolves, and since AD and LeBron they played together, it kind of fast tracks. Kind of, you know, LeBron, he can play with anybody. So if everybody got, a lot of chemistry, I guess he'll pick it up with them. So I just think that we just got to go on a 5-game win streak somehow at some point, and then from there we just got to just stay in every game. Just keep doing our best. I love everybody who we got.
So Joe, I'm gonna. You talked about going on a 5-game winning streak, whatever the case is. So this is the one thing that has been really tough this year with Lakers. And then, listen, I'm doing obviously every post-game show, so I'm reacting with you guys the same way. And I think there's kind of a common theme here. They play a game, and they play the Golden State Warriors, and they look good. They went on the road. It's the first time you see some of the new players. You get excited. Naturally, you do. And then they follow that up with a game against the Portland Trailblazers, and the game's pretty much over by halftime, and you're like, this again? And then they give you a taste what they gave you tonight against the Pelicans, but this was with everybody. This was with Braun and Vanderbilt and Beasley and D'Angelo and Mo Bamba. The lineup is different than it's ever been because literally these guys have not played with each other. To go on that type of winning streak, I think it's going to be tough because they're going to come back from the break. They got the Warriors. Then they got Dallas, Memphis, and OKC on the road. Then Minnesota, Golden State, Memphis, Toronto, New York, all playoff teams. So to go on that type of a streak is definitely going to be tough. Let's take a quick listen here. Here's D'Angelo Russell on the Lakers win.
D'Angelo, you had mentioned being eager to see what it looked like once LeBron got back and where you would be and which actions on and off the ball. And just wondered what your impressions were of this first game when you had the full squad out there, plus having your former Timberwolves teammates in the starting lineup with you.
Minnesota Timberwolves right there. It was fun, honestly. I just kept saying it to the guys. Just having that much fun playing basketball is always a beautiful feeling. And obviously when LeBron and AD are going like that, it's easy to follow those guys. So, I can only imagine what the future looks like.
I saw you had several different interactions with the crowd, getting people going. Last time you played here, 2017, it's been a while. Talked about you're a man now.
Yeah.
All right. What was that like, though? What was that experience like?
Just embracing it, embracing all the emotions that, may go into it for myself, for any fans of me out there that's, happy to have me back, just embracing it.
D'Angelo, without trying to look too far ahead, but you guys got this win, you get a break. What's going to be the big-time goal going forward after the break is over for you guys?
Just make a push, one game at a time. I mentioned it earlier, y'all going to ask us after every game what our percentages and chances, respectfully, but just one game at a time, lock it into what we can do, what we can control, and our group, our locker room, things like that. Muting all the noise outside of it and just focusing on that. I think that's going to be our main focus.
Hey, D'Angelo, good to see you. It's only one game, but what makes playing with LeBron and AD unique compared to all the other great players you play with at your different styles?
It's just easy. I think it's just easy. Those guys, they try to play the right way, majority of the time. So when your two best players are willing passers and selfless out there and try to screen away and they play basketball out there. So for me, I've always wanted to be in that position. If I make a cut, maybe I might get the ball. But I'm usually the guy making that pass to the open guys. So to have LeBron out there knowing that he's capable of doing it, it's almost like another point guard out there as well. And then I always say this, AD has it's so much gravity when he's on the floor, and the defense, tries to stay attached to him, and you find yourself walking to the rim. So just utilizing how I can play with and without those guys is going to be the main focus for me. And trying to get other guys going as well is my focus too. Those guys have the ball a lot of the time, so whenever we get another group in there and I'm in there with that group, trying to get those guys going too, just making us that much hard to guard.
D'Angelo, there was a clip that the team social put out of you hit that pull-up three late in the third, and then you kind of walk back toward the crowd, and you're like I never left.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, they got that.
Yeah,
so, what were you kind of sensing in that in that moment of just the emotion and kind of clicking with the crowd?
Just embracing all those emotions. Not being nervous, not being anxious, not being any of that. Just kind of embracing it with my own persona, and I love those moments. I play for the fans that are fans of me. I always appreciate them, and when I have an opportunity to embrace it and go out my way and do something like that, I always think of the fans when I'm doing that, for sure.
Last question, Dave.
D'Lo, when we spoke to you in Portland, you acknowledged things are very early on, only 2 games, but you said offense not so smooth at that point. Tonight with 30-plus assists as a team, you jumped out to an early lead. The offense seemed to carry you guys energy-wise throughout the night. How do you think you were able to get into that flow rather quickly post-Portland?
I mean, we had Bron tonight, so when you don't have somebody like that, he's averaging 30 points. You got to make up for it somewhere else, and to have a group out there in Portland that never really played with each other. You're asking so much for all these other guys to kind of step up, including myself, and replace a guy like LeBron James is pretty tough. So tonight we had him, and we seen it a little more fluid. Everybody pitched in. Everybody played a major part in keeping the league, maintaining it, getting the league, getting stops, getting consecutive stops. Everybody played a part. So I like what we showcased tonight.
All right, that's D'Angelo Russell right there on the Lakers win. So 120-102 the final score. D'Lo tonight, very nice night. 21 points, 7 assists as well, a couple of rebounds, got to the free throw line, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. I'm really curious to see how D'Angelo does the rest of this year and what he does for the Lakers. I mentioned this when the trade went down. I was not the biggest D'Lo fan in his first stint with the Lakers, but that was 4 teams later, and how many years? 5 years ago, whatever it was. Kind of sounds calm, cool, and collective. And on the floor, he acts that way too. So it's certainly the type of player that the Lakers need. If you tell me, do I prefer this roster over the roster that the Lakers had 2 weeks ago, I think there isn't a Laker fan out there would not tell you that they don't prefer the players that they have right now. If this is the team that they want. Let's go to Ken in Newport Beach. What's going on, Ken?
Hey, hi, Alan. So I actually told somebody when I was watching the Portland game, and they were down by 21.5, that there's a better chance of it snowing in Vegas. Yesterday when I was leaving Vegas, it was snowing.
Snowing, there Seriously. You go. That makes sense then.
Read about it. Now, somebody said something about the starting lineup. Starting lineup tonight was a plus 75. Hasn't happened all year. A good portion of that was Vandy on their best player.
On BI? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you look at his numbers in the first quarter when Vandy was on it, he was completely stuffing him. But that lineup was a plus 75. That is the lineup I want to see the rest of the year. I like Russell a lot more than I used to. I like this defensive player that rebounds and does all the right things. I think the other guys, the reserves, they were a plus 15 versus a plus 75. This lineup is the best lineup the Lakers have had this year, and they can win some games with it.
Ken, appreciate you calling in. So it just fits better that guys are going to actually play their roles. D'Angelo Russell, he is a point guard. That is how he plays the game. He's not doing anything out of his comfort zone. Beasley is a spot-up natural shooting guard. Vanderbilt is a hustle player. Bron and AD, I don't have to tell you. What it also does is it might give some of these other guys opportunities like Hachimura or Dennis Schroeder or Austin Reeves or Troy Brown Jr. It allows them to go up against the other team's backups as well. Maybe that's a better comp. And then play the final five that's having the best game. I think that's always the best way to approach that. Who closes the game could be a little bit more fluid than who starts the game. But it's one game with everybody there, and at least for this one game, it looked good. So that part I cannot argue. Before I go to LeBron, because we're going to go to LeBron next, let's go to Solomon and Lake Balboa.
Hey, Alan, thanks so much. Here's my question to you. First of all, I'm right there with Ken. I love the starting lineup tonight. Here's what I expect from a second unit. And all of a sudden, you look at the Lakers, and they got a pretty deep, fairly impressive second unit. My second unit has to do one of three things: maintain a lead, right? Increase a lead, okay? Or just don't lose a lead. Do you think the Lakers, in their current construct of backup players now, can do at least one of those three things going forward?
I appreciate you calling in. I think it's still yet to be seen. I don't think I could answer that one game of just kind of knowing. Let me give you an example. Dennis Schroeder has pretty much started the entire season. Troy Brown Jr. has started a lot of games this year as well. Austin Reeves, I think he's going to be more predominantly off the bench. Lonnie Walker's role is completely diminishing, and I'm not 100% sure what the reason for that is. Could be just as simple they feel more comfortable with some of these other players that they acquired. I think that bench it's decent. I just got to see more of it, right? And I think the starting lineup looked decent tonight. I just got to see more of it. So it's tough to, it's tough to give you a definitive answer when this is literally the first game they've ever started these five, and the guys that got the most of the minutes today coming off the bench. That's not how it's always been. Dennis Schroeder has been in that starting lineup, so not the best answer, but it's an honest answer. All right, let's take a listen to Bron. Here's LeBron James on the Lakers win. LBJ 21-6-6.
LeBron, we know that continuity can be such a big thing and big advantage in the league, but sometimes new groups and lineups just happen to click. And wondered if you felt like there are certain things with this group, with D'Lo and Vanderbilt and Beasley coming in and joining you and AD, some things that are skill set wise just sustainable as you move forward.
Yeah, I think we're going to continue to build off tonight, and I think our skill set all kind of fit each other. With Vando and D'Lo and Bees, three guys that just know how to play the game. We all just trying to, get the ball popping, get the ball moving, have equal opportunity, and everybody's trying to play to their advantage out on the floor. So, tonight we had 32 assists. Our starting lineup was at 9, 14, 20, 22 assists in our starting lineup. That's huge. So, we want to try to continue that going forward.
I know you're a day-to-day guy, but does this give you a certain level of confidence or optimism as you guys still have a lot of work to do, obviously, after the break?
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do still. Every game is going to be tough for us, especially going on the stretch. We knowing the type of push that we need to make. I want the guys to enjoy the break, but don't get 100% detached because, we want to come back and try to keep this thing going. I feel really good about what we have brewing, but it's going to take a lot of commitment from us going down the stretch, so I look forward to that.
LeBron, I know that left foot and ankle is something you've been managing on and off for, maybe the bulk of the season. What have the last 8 days or so been like for you, and was there a level of relief from the medical imaging coming back clean?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to know that there was no structural damage, no stress reaction, no stress fracture, no bone chips or breaks or anything like that. It was just, something that had to just wear down or calm down, from last Tuesday. So I was able to, obviously, not stress it as much because I haven't been able to play the last couple of games, or last 3 games, I believe it was, and got some really good work in Portland. I believe you guys was there. I was getting some good work in Portland, and felt confident that I could go tonight after getting some great work this morning, on the court. So felt pretty good about it, and I feel my ankle and my foot feels pretty good right now. So it's a good start.
LeBron, we haven't talked to you since last week or whatever. What did you think just kind of on Thursday about the team's activity and kind of in the time between getting these pieces to today? What was it like in your mind, kind of imagining how it could work?
Well, I mean, obviously Thursday we were shorthanded versus a championship ball club in Milwaukee. But those guys played exceptionally well with so many guys out. Oh, no, that's Neil Sporn from my scratch. Oh, well, come get it from me then. I can't get it. I don't know. I don't want to wipe off the medicine off of it. So you got to get it. I don't want to wipe the medicine off.
No.
Hi, Mom. You lucky you and Savannah has a good relationship. Yeah, she does. Thursday we had great activity. We played great basketball.
I meant to be clear, not in the game. At the deadline.
That activity.
That activity, turning over the roster, adding all these new pieces, and then trying to imagine sort of, because I mean, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Before you could actually play with.
First of all, I'll shout out and salute the guys that left. Russ, Pat, JTA. Also, we have DJ and Thomas. Those 5 guys. We've all started the season together and tried to work to make some things happen and be the best that we could, be on the floor. So I salute those guys and their commitment to us trying to be as good as we could be on the floor. And right now, I mean, I like the guys that we have coming in. I mean, it's going to take some time for us to get to know one another, but I know they played the game at a high level. I think D'Lo is a really good, shifty point guard, can space the floor, very crafty, very deceiving with his quickness, his the way he plays the game. Obviously, we got a laser in Malik that we just never had this season. Or a guy is, no matter if he's on the floor, no matter if he's making or not, you have to respect him because of his ability to shoot the ball. He has kind of that J.R. Smith feeling to him that he can miss 10 in a row and he can make 10 in a row right after that. Vando's a Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything. His defensive ability, his offensive rebounding ability. You saw tonight we had a turnover in the backcourt. He wasn't even in the backcourt, but got a block at the rim and then got to contest a 3 after that and saved us a possession, and AD got the rebound and then a foul. And then I think Mo is going to give us a lot of presence as well. You saw his shot blocking ability and his abilities to shoot the 3. No matter if he made them or not tonight, he's a threat, and he will as he gets comfortable. I just love what we was able to pick up in Devon as well. If his opportunity is called, his length, his ability to play multiple positions helps as well. So I thought we did a really good job. Activity bracket on Thursday. Is that good?
All right, that is LeBron James right there. So LBJ really just kind of breaking down the entire roster. By the way, perfect breakdown. I love the laser for Beasley, D'Angelo, his style, Swiss Army knife for Jared Vanderbilt. And I think that, listen, I think this at least gives the Lakers a puncher's shot here to make things interesting. And that's all you can really ask for right now. Do they got work to do? Of course they do. Are they 5 games below 500? Absolutely they are. But the good news is it's because they're 5 games below 500, maybe in any other year in the Western Conference, we'd be looking at, all right, what are they going to do in the offseason? But we don't have to do that. They're only 2 games out of one of these play-in spots. And how the Lakers close out these final 23 games is obviously going to dictate if they got any shot at making the playoffs or not. So, Laker fans, we are 59 games in, 23 games left to go. I will point out that we will not have another Laker broadcast until a week from tomorrow. So the Lakers will play the Warriors pregame show, postgame show. All that stuff will not be until that Thursday. Like I said, a week from tomorrow. I think that's February 23rd. So they'll take on the Warriors at Crypto. Quick shout out here internally. Thank you to Michael Funches. Thank you to Wilbert Flores. Thank you to Brian Cohen. Thank you to our whole social team, Carlos Saisu and DeAndre Hawkins. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. No Lakers basketball for about 8 days. Look forward to seeing you a week from tomorrow. I'm Alan Sliwa. This has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Thank you for listening to Lakers Basketball Tonight.
Lakers Basketball on ESPNLA is sponsored by Subaru of Glendale,
the #1 volume Subaru dealer in California.
Lakers Basketball, delivered by new melts from Pizza Hut. Cheesy, crispy, and loaded with toppings for just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, only at Pizza Hut.
Presented by CallJacob.com. Winning matters. That's why after an accident, you have to go to CallJacob.